Hi, this video is going to show you how to help your student at home to prepare for the new California state testing known as Caaspp. You're first going to go to californiatac.org. You can see here up in the address bar, californiatac.org. Down below, you will see these green boxes or rectangles. You're going to click on the one that says Practice and Training Test. Once you click on that, you'll see three different options, and you're going to click on the Student Interface. It's the third option here to the right. This part can be a little tricky, but basically you're just going to go through and click Sign In. You don't have to change anything. Once again, the only thing you change is choosing a grade level and hitting Yes. This will pop up if you see the middle section here. This is where we want to really practice, the middle section and then also down here. So if you look at the math practice, you're going to go through here. Don't change anything, just hit select. And then once again, scroll down and just, yes, start my test. You don't need to change anything. This kind of gives an overview. You can look at it and go over the different components with your child. And then begin test now. So your children will not be able to move to the next screen without answering all of the questions. Up here in the top right corner, you can see where they're going to hit next. And right here, you can enter numbers. If I click in the box down here, sometimes you just need to play with it. So if I just type in an answer, I didn't read the question right now, but if you go ahead and type in the answer, up here, anytime you see the three bars, if you take a look at that, there are some options that would be really good for you to practice with your child. If you have the mark for review, right here, it tags the number so that they know to go back at the very end to look at it and review their answer. Okay, so if I go ahead and hit next, and then over here, I go on to the next question, and really you're just going to need to go through and practice the different types of questions and the different types of answers. You'll notice if you see things like this word replacing, when I scroll over it, it becomes highlighted. So if I click on it, a glossary comes up and it actually has a definition. So it's really important that the children practice utilizing the different components because the test is so new. So if I just went through without looking at the actual question and then hit next, so you can see there are a lot of different types of questions. So it's really good to practice. I'm going to go back now to this page. I'm going to show you the language arts. So I'm going to go through the same procedure. So it's going to be this second one here, the third grade ELA practice test, or whichever grade your child is in. Once again, leave this all the same and just hit select. And then start my test. The language arts test is unique because there will be videos or things to listen to. So you just click this sound check, make sure your sound is working, and then hit yes. You can read again through the different parts of the language arts test here and then begin. Make sure you go through here and talk about the different things with your student. So you can see the kids are going to have to get used to reading the text over to the side. They can actually click this button and it makes it larger, easier to work with. If they see a phrase or a quote that they really like and think is valuable towards their answer, they can actually highlight it. Oops. They can highlight it and double click. Maybe. Let me try that one more time. There we go, and hit highlight selection. So it will save the highlighting like that for now. If they don't want it anymore, they just click on it again and reset the highlighting. So I can click on these two arrows to make it smaller. And you can see over here there's no options available to help besides if you wanted to highlight within the text. Another great option for the new testing is the strike through. So if I click on this answer and I do two-finger click, I can actually click strike through and get rid of answers that I think are wrong. I can also take them off again. And once again, if I think that this is going to be a harder question, I can mark it for review and it will tag the number for later in the test. I can go back to it. The students can also use the notepad. So they can pull up the notepad next to the text and they can type something in. For example, Jesse crept up, to the front door. And they can write whatever they feel about that phrase. Save it and close it. So that when they go back into their notepad, it should be there. This will help them especially in the performance task part where they will need to write either a narrative, opinion, or informational text. So do your best to go through the grade level with your son or daughter and make sure they just understand how to navigate through the different components of both the English language arts and the math. But please remember to make sure they realize it's important, but not to the point where they're stressing out. We don't want them to have anxiety over the testing. Hope this helps.